Good morning, students. Welcome back to Botany class, Chapter 2, Biological Classification, Part 3. Last class, Part 1, we discussed about the biological classification proposed by the R.H. Whittaker, 5 kingdom classifications. Then we discussed the kingdom Monera, kingdom Protista. Today's class, in the Part 3, we are going to discuss about the kingdom Fungi or the kingdom Mycota. The fungi constitute a unique kingdom of heterotrophic organisms. Heterotrophic meaning they are depending on other organisms. Chlorophyll is absent. They show a great diversity in morphology. External characters are different and where they are living. So, morphology and habitat. When your bread develops a mold or it is a fungi, the common mushroom that you eat is also a fungi. White spots seen on mustard leaves due to parasitic fungus. Fungus are normally unicellular, that is the yeast is the example. Other fungi causes diseases in plants and animals. Wheat rust causing Puccinia is an important example causing the diseases. Some other sources of antibiotics, that is the example Penicillium. Fungi are cosmopolitan and occur in water, air, soil and on animals and plants. They prefer to grow in warm and humid places. Okay. Have you ever wondered why we keep food in the refrigerator? It is to prevent food from going bad due to bacterial or fungal infections. Yeast is unicellular fungi. Then the almost other fungus are the filamentous. Their bodies consist of, fungal bodies consist of long, slender, thread-like structures called, the fungal body is called hyphae. The fungal body consists of long, slender, thread-like structure called hyphae. The network of hyphae is known as mycelium. The fungal body is called mycelium. Okay. Some hyphae are continuous tube-like structure and the tubes are filled with the multinucleated cytoplasm. Okay, these are called Coenocytic Hyphae. Others have septate. Septate means the cross walls are present, partitions are present in their hyphae. The cell walls of fungi are composed of chitin and polysaccharide. The cell walls of fungi are composed of the chitin and the polysaccharides. Most fungi are heterotrophic and absorb soluble organic matter from dead substrates. Hence, they are called the saprophytic. Heterotrophic, they are living on the living organisms for food. Saprophytic, they are living on the dead organisms. That depend on living plants and animals are called parasites. Completely they are living on the organisms are known as the parasites. They can also live as symbiotes. Symbiotes means mutually benefited. Where they are, which organisms they are living, that organism also benefited. That is called symbionts. In association with algae is called lichens. Okay, and with roots of higher plants it is called the mycorrhiza. Okay, now mycorrhiza. Reproduction in fungi can take place by vegetative means. Outside we can see that one. Fragmentation, fission and budding. Asexual reproduction is by spores called conidia or sporangiospores or zoospores. And sexual reproduction by zoospores, ascospores and basidiospores. The various spores are produced in distinct structure called fruiting bodies. The particular structure where that the spores are producing, that is called the fruiting bodies. The sexual cycle involves the following 3 steps. Fusion of protoplasm between two motile movement. Non-motile gametes is called plasmogamy. Sexual reproduction contains 2 gametes, male and female gametes, sex structures. So their fusion of the protoplasm, entire body, their fusion, that it is called a plasmogamy. Second one is a fusion of two nuclei called karyogamy, nucleus. Karyotes means the nucleus, gamy means the gamy. Fusion of the gametes. Two nuclei is called karyogamy. Then the third point is meiosis. Meiosis in zygote resulting in haploid spores. So the 3 points are plasmogamy, karyogamy and the meiosis. When a fungus reproduces sexually, two haploid hyphae of compatible mating types come together and fuse. In some fungi, the fusion of two haploid cells immediately results in diploid cells. And they are in the two nuclei, they will occur. Such a condition is called dikaryon, and the phase is called dikaryophase of fungus. Later, the parental nuclei fuse and the cells become diploid. The fungi form fruiting bodies in which reduction division occurs, leading to formation of the haploid spores. These are the common characters of the kingdom fungus. Okay, now we'll discuss about the classes of the kingdom mycota. So what are the divisions? We'll see that one. The morphology of the mycelium, the fungal body, mode of spore formation and the fruiting bodies form the basis for the division of the kingdom fungi into 4 classes. Okay, the first class, it is the Phycomycetes. Phycomycetes is also called algal fungi. Why? Because see that one, the study of fungus is called mycology. Study of fungi is called mycology. Study of algae, it is called phycology. Phycology. So together it is Phycomycetes means the algal fungi. Algae normally present in the aquatic habitat. So they are the algal fungi. Members of Phycomycetes are found in aquatic habits and on decaying wood in moist and damp places, or they are living as a obligate parasites on plants. Means half they are taking the advantage from the plants. Then the mycelium is septate and coenocytic. See that one, we had class division, morphology of the mycelium, mode of spore formation and the fruiting bodies. So the first discussion about the mycelium, that is the septate and coenocytic. Asexual reproduction takes place by zoospores. Zoospores are motile, or by the aplanospores. They are the non-motile. These spores are endogenously produced as sporangium. Inside the structure of the sporangium, it is producing. The zygospore is formed by the fusion of two gametes. These gametes are similar in morphology. Similar in morphology is called isogamous, or dissimilar it is called anisogamous or oogamous. Okay, these are the important points. Now, some common examples are mucor. First example, mucor. Second, it is the rhizopus, is also called bread mold. And albugo, that is the parasitic fungi on mustard. Okay, mucor, rhizopus, albugo. Then the second class is the Ascomycetes, that is commonly called sac fungi. Commonly known as the sac fungi, the Ascomycetes are mostly multicellular. Example, Penicillium, and unicellular it is yeast. Saccharomycetes, they are saprophytic. Saprophytic means living on the dead organisms. Decomposers, parasitic, living on living organisms. And next one, it is the coprophilous, that is growing on the cow dung. Okay, in the dung we can see some of the type of the fungus, that is called the coprophilous. Mycelium, that is the fungal body, is branched and septate. The asexual spores are conidia, produced exogenously on the special mycelium called conidiophores. Conidia is producing from the conidiophores. Conidia on germination produce mycelium. Sexual spores are called ascospores, which are produced endogenously in sac-like asci, that is singular it is called ascus. These asci are arranged in different types of the fruiting bodies are called ascocarp. Ascocarp, ascus producing the ascospores. Okay, that are the fruiting bodies. Some examples are Aspergillus, Claviceps and Neurospora. Aspergillus, Claviceps and Neurospora. Neurospora is used in biochemical and genetic work. Many members like morels and buffles are edible and are considered delicacies. The third classification, it is called the Basidiomycetes. Basidiomycetes are commonly called bracket fungi or the puff balls. Basidiomycetes are commonly called bracket fungi or puff balls. These are the mushrooms. They grow in soil, on logs and tree stems, and in living plant bodies as parasites. Okay, the mycelium is branched and septate. The asexual spores are generally not found, but vegetative reproduction by fragmentation is common. The sex organs are absent, but plasmogamy is brought about by fusion of two vegetative or somatic cells of different strains or genotypes. The resultant structure is dikaryotic. Two nucleus will commonly they are forming dikaryotic, which ultimately gives rise to the basidium. Karyogamy and meiosis takes place in the basidium, producing 4 basidiospores. Basidium producing the basidiospores. The basidiospores are exogenously produced on the basidium. That is the plural, it is basidia. The basidia are arranged in fruiting bodies called basidiocarp. Basidiocarp are producing the basidiospores. Some common members are agaricus, that is common mushroom, then Eustylago, smut, and Puccinia, rust fungus. Okay, different place they are present in the fungus. It is called living bodies and parasitic. Agaricus, mushroom, Eustylago, smut, and Puccinia, rust fungus. Okay, these are the 3 classification is over. First one Phycomycetes, Ascomycetes. Third one it is the Basidiomycetes. The last one it is the classification Deuteromycetes, commonly known as imperfect fungi. Okay, it is commonly known as the imperfect fungi. Why it is called like that? Because only the asexual and or vegetative phase of these fungi are known. When the sexual forms of these fungi were discovered, they were moved into classes they rightly belong to. It is also possible that the asexual and vegetative stage have been given one name and placed under Deuteromycetes, and the sexual stage another and placed under another class. Later, when the linkages were established, the fungi were correctly identified and moved out of Deuteromycetes. Once perfect sexual stage of members of Deuteromycetes were discovered, they were often moved to Ascomycetes and Basidiomycetes. The Deuteromycetes reproduce only by asexual spores known as Conidia. Conidia is produced from the Conidia spores. The mycelium is septate and branched. Some members are saprophytes or parasites, while large number of them are decomposers a little and help in mineral cycling. Some examples are Alternaria, Coleotrichum and Trichoderma. Examples are Alternaria, Coleotrichum and Trichoderma. Okay, these are the important characters, important classifications based on the morphology of the mycelium, mode of spore formation and the fruiting bodies. The kingdom fungi, kingdom Mycota divided into the 4 classes: Phycomycetes, Ascomycetes, Basidiomycetes and Deuteromycetes. Phycomycetes are also called algal fungi, Ascomycetes sac fungi and the Basidiomycetes bracket fungi. Deuteromycetes are the imperfect fungi. Okay, thank you.